everybody. It is Dr. Devin. Welcome to If They Knew. So I love my favorite part of 2020 and 2021 and this wild ride that we are on is that the universe keeps weaving my path with all these amazing people. And we hosted the big idea a few weeks ago, and there was just this bright light of sunshine that I kept seeing all over the room, right? There's 500 people there. And there's this smile that lights up everything. And there were tears coming from her eyes. You could feel her feeling everything. And I'm like, this is one of my sisters. This is one of my people. This is one of those gifts in the chaos that I never maybe would have found had squeeze not happened, right? So please welcome to If They Knew, Miss Janna Hibler.
Hello. Hi, guys. I feel so blessed to be here, and I equally feel so grateful to meet you. You are a powerful presence and light for the whole world. So we are grateful for you, and we see you every day, Devin.
I want to jump into all the things, right?
Okay.
So, glory of this podcast, especially during this time, is like, we don't know what's going to come up. I'm going to ask her a few questions. First of things first, tell the people who are watching today, who are you? Where are you in the world? What are you up to?
Love it. Yeah. So I'm currently in Michigan, and I'm a licensed naturopathic doctor with a function with medical grade nutrition as well. I do have the master's in nutrition because I do believe food is medicine, and I do specialize in gut health. So just reworking and helping educate about the terrain theory, and what a pivotal time to really learn that bugs are actually our friend and we can live in synergy with them. And I think our biggest current thing is the hospital systems. Yeah.
Dropping all kinds of really amazing truths. So I'm like, this is going to go in lots of different ways. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So right now the hospital,
Oh no, go ahead. Go ahead. You're good.
The hospital systems, I'm sure you've heard, have mandated the dirty juice. And so as of September 21st, a lot of us doctors and nurses are finding ways around that. And I think what we're coming to is that we're just going to form and build our own new healthcare system. It's going to be the future.
So clearly we're going to jump into some things here, folks. We're going to talk about food. We're going to talk about nutrition. We're going to talk about, she mentioned the terrain theory, which is something I want to come back to. And right, like if you are someone living on planet Earth right now, you have surely heard stories of these hospitals and different private companies that are requiring employees, doctors, nurses, frontline people who have worked, in close contact in healthcare the last year and a half, and they're requiring or saying like, get it by this date, this thing that we can't mention or this episode won't air, get it by this date or you're out. So literally people are being forced. Never before in history have we seen something like this, being segregated, medically segregated, private health choices, now public information. So this conversation is going to twist and turn, but I want to root it down first, right? There has to be, I ask everybody, if there's one thing, right? If there's one truth that really opened your eyes, or one nudge to trust your own intuition. What's the one premise, right? The way you see the world that you wish more people got, that if they got that big idea, they would probably do the rest. What's the big idea for you?
The big idea is definitely our ability to live with bugs, because I grew up, I'm a third generation doctor. I grew up in a very conventionally based family where I was taught, wash your hands, bugs are bad, use antibacterials, where you need to be afraid of germs. And it took me going into naturopathic medical school to realize, no, like bugs are good. Or even, these really detrimental like syndromes like Lyme disease, even really harmful things, if we live in synergy with bugs, viruses, bacteria, parasites, spirochetes, any of them, we can actually live in harmony with them. And once you learn that, your whole perspective on life and health and wellness shifts.
So did you guys feel that? I'm a mom, I'm going to expose my mom colors here, but like I had a poppy moment just then when you were like, you said harmony, like it's like, it seems like sunshine and rainbows. It seems too good to be true. And if people get that, right, that I love Brad Campbell says, like, if you do your wingspan this way, there's more viruses in your wingspan than there are stars in the sky. Like we are viruses. We are
Yes.
like it's not separate from, it's all about synergy, like, and that takes us into terrain theory. So dive a little bit deeper, expand for people that either this is new or you want to take them into it a little bit. Like what are some resources that they can learn, or what are some experiences you've had hand in hand with that?
For sure. So the microbiome, or microbiome, that is the content of different bugs that are in our body. We actually have, some say it's 50-50. Some say we even have more bacteria and bugs, like foreign bodies, than we do of actual human cells. So I like that you mentioned it's a part of us. It literally is a part of us. And so since I do specialize in gut health, we talk all the time where you're going to inevitably have bugs in your system, predominantly your gastrointestinal tract, but you know, it's also our respiratory tract. So our lungs, our throat, our nose, our ears. So moms, if your kid is frequently getting an ear infection or a nose or a throat infection, really that's their gut health that is off. And we need to change the content of the bugs that are in your body. You also have bugs all over your skin. So that's why even hugging right now, and I love that you had these t-shirts that say free hugs, because we are exchanging our microbiome, our bugs, by just hugging each other. And that's actually increasing our resilience and our immune system. So when they say isolate, I'm like, no, we need to exchange these bugs for diversity. We need that. So that's something that's so important. And I think also when you mentioned moms, like I'm a mom too, and you know, we can either as moms live in fear and like, oh my gosh, like how impossible is that your child's not going to pick something off the floor and put it in their mouth, like, and then you throw all of what's going on top of that, and literally moms, it could drive you crazy, right? But when you learn the terrain theory, and that's something you can Google, just learning about bug content, is learning there is a competitive antagonism system. So you will have bugs, and you can either fill it with good synergistic bacteria or pathogenic infectious bacteria. And when we wipe it clean with antibacterials, we lose the ability to modulate. So that's a lot right there.
But and it's everything, right? I mean, I think that people, I'm sure you've gotten it too, whether it's in my practice or family and friends, where people are like, why aren't you afraid? You should be afraid. We should be afraid. And it's like, of what? Like, you know, like, and it's, I can't even remember what it was like to feel that way, because this world has been, you've been in this for a while, right? It almost makes it hard to communicate, because we all are looking at the same thing, but we don't see the same thing.
Right. The social programming has taught us, wash your hands.
Right. We grew up with the germ theory, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And they both exist, but it's also time we start learning more about terrain theory. They're both important.
And we live in this dualistic either or, when in reality it's both.
Yes, it's both. Yes, absolutely.
When you talk biome, what are a couple of recommendations specifically for people that want to improve, you know, their microbiome and
definitely. So I think the most powerful thing they can do is, you know, decrease or cut out sugar. Certainly that's going to let the quote unquote bad bugs, which there's really no such thing, but you know, the more infectious bugs run rampant. Another thing that you can really utilize, just again, food is medicine. So cooking with garlic and ginger and anything from the sulfur family. So that's all our onions, that help our body detox, but also help keep our microbiome in check. I don't like to even use the word control, because right, words matter. We don't want to try to control anything. But really it can just help modulate a lot better. Mm-hmm.
I mean, because I think we seek control, right? Even at like, I'll go back to mothering, right? Like I want to control the world for my kids, but that's never going to happen. Right. And so empowering their system to be in harmony, to be in synergy. I love those words. And it goes to the root of empowered medicine, which is your driving mission is, right?
Yeah.
So if we look at the chaos and we bop everybody on the head and they wake up tomorrow and they now have a new appreciation for terrain theory, and everything that they'd learned, they're rewiring. What could the world look like, right? You're literally in the midst of take us what it's like to be forced now to come up with a new way. What kind of new world? What do you see for our future?
It's really beautiful. I don't know if maybe some of you saw it in a post, but my son, he's named Exodus, and this is 5 years ago. Because it so resonated. I saw this strong boy or man entering the world, and I do see this mass exodus now of it is more than people realize, of doctors and nurses leaving the system, where we now really have the chance to rebuild how healthcare is. And you and I know that mind and spirit is, if anything, more than like the physical body, right? Our physical body is just simply the manifestation of what our mind and spirit is doing. But now we have the chance to rework the system. So I vision like, doctors actually listening to their patients, taking it a full hour with them and learning about their full lifestyle, that it's not just this like 5-minute interaction where nowadays you're lucky even if someone, a PCP, looks at you in the eye and truly sees who you are. And that's why I love you, Devin, because I know I can feel it from you that every person that meets you sees you, knows you, and we need more doctors, doing that. Like you are the future. Yeah, that is the future.
Well, and I love it because like I see people like you, this integrative medicine approach, and like Dr. Brad, Dr. Jess, and that's why Big Idea is so great, is like it's happening, right? Like it's something I feel like we've been calling out for, and it's here now. Like these detectives, you guys are like Sherlock Holmes, right? Like I love what I do in chiropractic, because to me, chiropractic is as simple as flipping a switch. You move the bone, you turn on the light. Like it is simple. And I'm constantly looking for practitioners that I can work with that are going to be that Sherlock Holmes for my people, right? That will, I mean, man, this week alone, right? Like I can get new people to the office, and not one of them has had an experience where they're a person, they're a symptom, or they're a disease, or they're an illness. And this holistic approach, right? That's where we're headed. And it's exciting.
It is. Yeah, this is like, I'm almost grateful all this has happened, because the healthcare revolution is happening and will happen as a result, where, like you said, it's an individualized approach where each person is treated for who they are, not their disease. And that's where I do love, we are able to do some functional medicine testing, so stool analysis or check for brain chemistry, because especially if there's a mom, population here, I do not believe in postpartum depression or postpartum anxiety. Like, it is a mom's brain chemistry that is out of balance. She needs some nourishment, some hugs, some sleep, some love. And like you said, a whole new approach to how the person is treated, and really just balanced is what it is. So.
And when I hear you say that, because I know, like, I see faces, right? Like, same way. When we have these conversations, I'm always thinking about the people in my practice, and the ones that have come in with the diagnosis like postpartum depression, right? Yeah. Not that you don't believe what that person is going through. It's that you don't believe in the label. You don't believe in the approach.
Yes, right? Exactly. Yes.
That makes all the difference, right? Where it's like, pause, time out. If we see a person instead of a label, then the approach will be wildly different versus you have this, now take this. You have this, now take this. Like, it's not working.
Health is not linear. It's not linear. It's a dynamic, always moving, complex system. You can't go X, Y to Z. And that's why it truly is, I think, what you and I do, and more doctors are going to be doing in the future, is it is truly like we call it the art of medicine, because simply having a diagnosis and then prescribing X or Y or Z, that's linear, but that's not how we're made. Like, if you look at our structure and our system and our spirit, we are so many things. And so then our approach also needs to be multifactorial too. Whether that's an adjustment and then maybe some food modifications and sleep, hygiene, it's all of it. And that's how we alter our gene expression, or epigenetics, which I think would be a really powerful thing a lot of people can take home and maybe learn more about too.
That will be our next episode that we do together, because
I love it. Let's do it.
My mission with these things are like, I always think about my drive to work, right? It's like, I want the nugget. I want the breadcrumb that takes me a little bit closer, because I think everybody tries or we lose the battle, so to speak,
Sure.
with overwhelm. And it's like, how do I reroute my whole world? It's like, you do it one choice at a time.
One thing. Yep.
I'm looking back, it's like, if they just pick up a book about the microbiome, your whole life is about to be different. If you look up about biodiversity and how the power of a hug in an emotional connection and treating bugs, their whole family's life is different. If I look at cutting sugar, using garlic and ginger, literally in 15 minutes or however long we've been chatting, you have dropped so much gold that when I'm watching you, it's innate to you. It is just your world. You don't even realize how much you have packed in. And as we share these nuggets with one another, we just one choice at a time, we lead each other closer to what could be, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. And as you build upon, you know, like you said, we do one thing at a time, you become really confident and successful in that one modification, and then you build upon that. And I like that you mentioned that, because, you know, I had a patient, I have these like 6-month programs, and at our end assessment, I was like, so what do we need to do to make sure you don't go back to like how your life was before? You know, you've made such good progress. Your pain is gone. You know, you're pooping again. Like, you're happy, you're sleeping. And she was like, honestly, she's like, I never am going to go back. And I was like, what do you mean? She was like, I never knew I could feel like this. And once, like, you know, your eyes are open, or once you feel a certain way, you don't go back. And so, like you said, it does kind of become normal. So maybe it is normal for me, but it will be for other people too. And this is over a period of years, right? And we're all just this constant work in progress. So something to really like visualize at the end, and it will be that for everyone. Yeah.
And the world that we will gift our children. Right? And that's it, right? Like that's that little bit of fuel, because the days are kind of long and hard right now. Yeah. Like,
yeah, for sure.
This is the grit, but nobody said it was going to be easy. Right.
No.
And when we sign up to be healthcare practitioners, we take an oath to serve a truth, to take care of people, to be honest, to be in integrity. And now is the time to make the change for humanity. Do you have any, if we look at freedom?
Sure.
If you had a message of hope to doctors or nurses that are going through what you're going through, right? Like, you're being literally kind of forced into your butterfly moment, right? It's like, get in the, like, you're going to go from caterpillar to butterfly, and it ain't going to be comfortable, and you're being forced into it. And you could look at it as complete bullshit, because it is, like, right, I could go down that. I could go down the angry, I want to Hulk smash that anybody has to go through this. Or you could shift perspective and, why is God closing this door? What door is opening? How are you navigating this? What message of hope do you have for those people?
I think I already, I went down that light path already, because I've already seen the flip side of it, meaning that, so naturopathic doctors in some states are considered PCPs. And so when I was on the East Coast, I was a PCP, and I was seeing patients every 10 minutes. Okay. And that did not last long, because I could not sleep at night. I knew I was not actually helping anyone. I knew that no one was actually even on any close to a path of healing. And so, you know, that's why now I, you know, don't take insurance. It's a different kind of practice. And guess what? I sleep at night, because I spend 60 to 90 minutes with my patients. I get to know them. They are a person. Like, I am a person with them too. It's a relationship. And I think that is the piece of hope for doctors and nurses and moms and anyone going through and seeing this change in healthcare right now, is that we're going to have more doctors and nurses with integrity, that know they're truly helping people. And that is going to help elevate the collective consciousness on so much level. Because right now it's sick care, but we're truly going to move towards a wellness or optimization of healthcare.
Yeah. And we literally have to be the change, right? As cliche as it is, it's like, we're going to have to walk the walk. You mentioned, you know, coming out of insurance. Dr. Jess, when I interviewed her on podcast, she briefly talked about that. She talked about it too, where it's like, we have to look at where are the fractures, where is it not working, and what course corrections doing. It's like, you don't want to throw baby out with the bathwater, right? Like
Sure.
that she says too, it's like we need to build bridges, not burn them all down, right?
Yes.
We want doctors and nurses to have options, but first we'll have to walk that walk and show them, like, hey, you can practice free without insurance, like without them dictating the care that you give. You can expand the time that you spend with people. You can slow things down to take people deeper. There's options in defining what kind of impact you want to make.
Yes. And that is why I've always been in some sort of integrative healthcare system. Just like we need diversity in our microbiome, in our gut, we need diversity in our friendships, we need diversity in our healthcare. And that team approach of that every single person really needs a team, right? You need some sort of, therapist, chiropractor, naturopath, medical doctor. Like the fastest way to healing is having that whole team on your side. And so that is why I love Dr. Jess too, is that she gets it. Like we need that team approach. And so many doctors have been on this ego driven, well, I am the best, I am what gets them better. They only need me, but that's not true. Like everyone needs all of us. And that's where we're shifting towards. So it's really cool to have friends that get that. And
I think that's going to be my favorite moment of this episode, of hearing it the way you just said it, of diversity in healthcare. Because when I try to be it all instead of be the best chiropractor, I dilute my genius, right?
Yes.
I actually can't serve them with my gift if I'm trying to be all the things they need. And that's ego of the healthcare provider in that, like, we're never doing the healing. It's always them. They always get credit. It's their intelligence within their system. And so thank you for that. I've not heard it put that way, and I love it. And I'm going to write it up, and it's going up on my wall of like, and it is such a feminine approach, right? Where it's like, we are in synergy together. We work together for the greatest good of this person. And I get goosebumps and I get butterflies when I think about what those communities are going to look like.
Yeah. It's where the magic happens. Yeah.
It's going to be amazing.
It's going to be amazing.
I will see you soon. I'm guessing, are you coming to Kansas City?
Oh yeah, of course. I am there.
Symposium, guys, come to Kansas City in October for the Health Freedom for Humanity Symposium. Come to the Big Idea next year. Go look this beautiful, powerful woman up. Stay connected to her. She's putting out lots of light on social. How else can they stay connected to you and anything that ties them forward with you?
For sure. I'm on Instagram at empowered_medicine. And you know what? I haven't made a Telegram link yet, so I guess I will have to get on that. But yeah, it's coming with all the censorship. That's for sure.
Yeah, it is a good thing. I mean, that's it. As we adapt, right? We all evolve with it. And just guys, look at this smile, this heart. I'm so grateful. I know we've had to kind of play with timelines and matching it all up, but we made it happen today. I'm gonna bring it back because I love these. They're like little time capsules. So this is our August 2021 episode, and it'll be neat to open this back up 6 months from now or 3 months from now and go, oh my gosh,
where are we now?
Changed.
Yeah.
So
it's so exciting. I'm so excited. I mean, really, there is so much darkness in the world, but there's so much light. Like it's everywhere. Like you just I mean, it's here.
It's right there. And that's it. I mean, your smile, lady, seriously, like you are forever imprinted on my heart because you radiate that joy. And that brings my soul closer to what we know is possible. So
yeah, thank you. We all heal each other, right? Like we're all together.
Guys, if either one of us can support you in any way, stay connected to us, social, come see us in our offices, meet us in Kansas City in a few months, and mainly take away that you are the power. You have the truth inside of you. Keep digging, keep seeking that good stuff, and get out there and live your best life. So I love you.
Janna, love you. Thank you, sister.
We'll see you guys soon.
All right. Bye.